Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and once again, Democrats don't care about anything but getting their way. Let's dive in. Representative Steve Cohen, I want AG Barr physically dragged in to testify. In an appearance on CNN's Anderson Cooper 360 on Friday night, Stephen Cohen, Democrat of Tennessee, and I believe that should be representative, not EP, called on the Sergeant-at-Arms to drag Attorney General William Barr in before the House Judiciary Committee to testify. I have no reason to believe they'll do anything that is in keeping with the traditions of the relationship between the executive and the judicial as co-equal branches of government, Cohen replied. Well, one, the DOJ is part of the executive, and you are not on the judicial, you're in the legislative. I think they will stonewall at all costs because they know they can't give up information or data, or the president will be exposed for the type of person and the actions he's undertaken. So Chairman Jerry Nadler has talked about wanting to move forward with contempt proceedings if he doesn't comply. What would that look like, Cooper asked. Well, I would hope it would be an inherent contempt, because an inherent contempt, we go out, we take him, Barr, bring him in, and personally have him, and have him, and personally have him personally brought to the House. Cohen, you need someone to teach you how to talk. So the sergeant-at-arms goes out and forces the Attorney General to come, Cooper asked. Yes, because otherwise it is up to the Justice Department. The Justice Department will not do anything to take a contempt citation from us and enforce it against their boss. So you've got an impossible situation, and it leaves us no other alternative except to use our Sergeant-at-Arms to bring him in, Cohen said. When you say bring him in, do you actually support the idea of putting him in? Are you talking about just having him sit for a hearing or locking him up somehow? Cooper asked. You have to have him sit for a hearing, and I think you have to have him locked up unless he agrees to participate and come to the hearing, Cohen replied. But do you actually believe that that your committee is going to order the Attorney General of the U.S. to be arrested by the Sergeant of Arms and put in jail? Cooper asked again. I don't know what we'll do, Cohen said, but we can't just go to the Justice Department. It is meaningless. It shows we want to hold him in contempt, but the fact is he won't be held in contempt because the Justice Department won't enforce a contempt citation against their boss. It won't happen, and Trump and Barr would fire whoever tried to do it. Town Hall noted it's really hard to take someone like Cohen seriously, especially when he shows up to a committee hearing with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Maybe he missed the memo. The majority of his Democratic colleagues have law degrees. Most of them have practiced law in some capacity, and others have even taught law school classes. And you have the video here. Cohen is a man who put a chicken at a desk and then sat and ate fried chicken in the Judiciary Committee meeting, because going against all traditions, Jerry Nadler ordered the AG to come be questioned by staffers. And if you'll go back and look, Attorney General Barr specifically said he will meet with the committee, not with their staffers, not with anyone else. He wants the actual members of the committee to honor the traditions of the House, where the members of the committee would be the ones talking to him. But you see, Nadler knows that they don't want to do that, because if they do, he'll roast them as well as he did Hirono, Harris, and the rest of the Democrats in the Senate. They know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, there was no collusion. There was no obstruction. They want lawyers to twist every little word that he says. There is no power to physically drag anyone before Congress unless the Department of Justice does it. You see, the legislative branch legislates. The executive branch executes laws. They have no arm to enforce anything. If you'll remember, Eric Holder was held in contempt of Congress, and nothing happened to him because Congress has no ability to enforce anything. Pardon me. But you see, Cohen here is just another idiot Democrat. Cohen is the kind of person who just wants to say, obey me now. And when people tell him no, he tries to scare them by saying, I'll have you dragged in chains. And it never will happen, because the DOJ, the Sergeant-at-Arms, Capitol Police, and the 5-year-olds living not far from D.C. all know that Cohen is an idiot. But unfortunately, we get people like Anderson Cooper who give him time on CNN to sound like he is just the most powerful man on the planet. And when he's disobeyed, in his words, when he's not pandered to, he whines and cries like a toddler about how it's just not right. Of course, Barr decided he would not go talk to staffers. And when the House committee was told that Barr would not talk to their staff, he would only talk to them, they didn't tell him that Rep. Cohen or anyone else was going to be there. They told him, "You will come talk to our staff." He said no, and magically, when the day arrived, they showed up and said, "Where is he? Where is he?" I would actually love to see Attorney General Barr walk into the room, plunk down a copy of the Mueller report, look them all in the eyes and say, "I talked to Mueller. My letter did not inaccurately represent anything. The media did that. Here's the report. That is my answer to every question you will ask. As I'm not going to say anything that's not in that report, I'm leaving. Feel free to read it," and walk out. And I want all that done on camera, just so we can have the House members demanding that the Attorney General obey them. You see, Democrats can't stand when people don't obey them, even people who are not required to. They scream and yell and they rattle their cages, and then nothing happens. The people of Tennessee honestly need to get rid of Cohen. I don't know how a state as red as Tennessee always goes has an idiot like this in office. And for crying out loud, Tennessee's where they just elected Glenn Jacobs, a former pro wrestler, great guy from everything I've read, as a city mayor. Florida has Shaq. Both of those, Jacobs and Shaq, both very conservative. But unfortunately, there are just enough liberals in some areas to flip a House seat. Although we know from the Roy Moore scandal, if they don't have them there, they bust them in. But I've talked about this long enough. Let me know what you think. Keep it civil. Keep the jokes about Cohen to a minimum. We don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. As always, please make sure to like, share, and comment on this video, as well as to subscribe and activate notifications so you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a good day.